Before the video gets started, I just want to let you guys know that we will be live streaming on twitch.tv/deadrawsya later tonight. We're going to be doing a case unopening of Savage Strike on stream. So come check it out, come hang out, see what we pull, see what the ratios are like, and just see, come talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway guys, please enjoy the video. We will see you later. What's up YouTube, Deadraw here, bringing the video today. Today I want to go over Salamangreats and what I think they're going to do to our meta. Now, Salamangreat is a deck that I've been very excited for. I'm a huge fan of fire decks, so once I heard about this deck starting to top in the OCG, I was super excited and I looked into it right away. So I've been testing and playing with it, and I think this deck is going to be able to do things here in the TCG. There's a few reasons for that. I don't think it's going to absolutely dominate, and it's not going to be the best deck, but I definitely think this deck has potential and has potential to be good for a little bit, and potentially one of the best decks going into the Nationals format. But let's get into this deck and see what it does. So first off, I want to go over the cards that we already have, because right now we are just awaiting the structure deck for this deck to be at full power. So it's very exciting, or close to full power, I guess. There's Signet Mining yet to come out in Dark Neostorm, but very exciting. So let's talk about Lady Debug. First off, this is a level 4 Cypress Monster. This is the best normal summon in the deck. When this card is normal or special summon, you can add one level 3 lower Cypress Monster from your deck to your hand. You have multiple targets to add to your hand. Some of your best targets like Gazelle. Absolutely just amazing card to add to your hand. It just destroys, just makes plays unbelievably good. This card is just a really good one-card normal summon that's going to end up leaving you with at least one negate on board, which is awesome. So yes, I definitely think ashing this is somewhat worth it sometimes. The question is do they have the other extender? Sometimes it definitely is better to wait, but I definitely think that this card is going to be very strong, so definitely look out for this card. You know your opponent's going to be able to go off. If you can impermanence this card or anything like that, I definitely think it's worth the impermanence or something like that rather than Ash Blossom. But definitely, I think this card's really good, so watch out for it. And I think it has been going up. I think it's like $7 or something like that. It has been going up, and it's a structure deck card, only has one printing. The next one here, Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. This is actually the newest Link monster we have from Savage Strike, and one of the ones that is needed for the deck is this is one of the heart and souls of the deck. You make this card all the time, almost every turn, every game you're making this card. So when a monster is normal or special summon to a zone it points to, it can target one fire monster in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. The nice thing about this effect is that it's not able to, it's able to get any fire monster. It's not restricted to Salamangreats, so that you can add stuff back like Ash Blossom. Being able to recycle an Ash Blossom is absolutely amazing. And the lucky thing about this is actually a rare, very easy to get. This deck is going to be very cheap. So, and then it has a second effect. If it's used a monster with the same name as itself, so Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, as a link material. So you can do this in two ways, obviously just using a Salamangreat and a Sunlight Wolf, or you can do this using Sanctuary. Sanctuary is the field spell. We'll get to that in a little bit, but Sanctuary allows you to just link off, trade each other out. You pretty much just swap them out if they have the same name, being able to get all their second effects. This deck has secondary effects based on if monsters were link summoned using the same name as a material, sort of like how Sky Strikers has the second effects based on if there's 3 spells in graveyard. Sorry about that, blanked for 2 seconds. So Salamangreats get base effects if they use the same name as material, and Sunlight Wolf, if he's used the same name as a material once per turn, you can add one spell or trap, Salamangreat spell or trap, from your deck, from your graveyard to your hand. So this is very useful for adding a few things. We'll kind of get into that as we go through these cards. So Sunlight Wolf is definitely a 3 of, for sure. And then one of the last cards I want to go over that we actually currently have is Salamangreat Helio. This card is actually insane. Way better than I thought it was in testing. If this card is link summoned, you can target one card in your opponent's spell and trap zone, shuffle it into the deck. The crazy thing is that's not once per turn. It's not a hard once per turn. That's not a, it's not once per turn. So if you swap these out, you can get rid of two spells, which is crazy. Having access to back row removal in the deck is absolutely insane. And then its secondary effect, if it's used a monster with the same name as itself, it can target one monster in the field and one monster in the graveyard, make the monster's attack equal to the monster in the graveyard. So it's really good. Say you have Ash Blossom in graveyard, or many of your Salamangreat monsters are actually only 500 attack. If you have those in graveyard, you're able to really lower down your opponent being able to push for game. As well as the fusion monster. We're not going over the fusion monster today because I don't think it's as important to go over right now. I'm not sure how many builds are going to be incorporating it. It's definitely something that's good to have one of though. But that's Helio. Helio is really good. He's your back row removal slash just getting over things. This card is just really strong. And then let's start talking about the new cards coming in Salamangreat. Soulburner structure deck. So first off, Salamangreat Gazelle is your level 3 Cypress Monster. So this is pretty much the thing you're going to be adding the most off of Lady Debug. Because if a monster is sent from your field to your graveyard, or just sent to your graveyard in any way, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, and if this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one Salamangreat card from your deck to your graveyard. So this is like Armageddon Night, just straight up. That special summons itself when a Salamangreat leaves or is sent to the graveyard, which is absolutely insane. So if you link off a Salamangreat, you can special summon this from your hand and then get its affected dump. A lot of times you're going to be dumping Salamangreat Roar, which is the counter trap. We'll go over that in a little bit. We're going to be getting to that card. But that's one big thing you do off this. This just extends for plays. You can normal summon this. This is a normal summon of the deck. You can send like other cards like Falco, so you can add this back to your hand and make the link 1 and respecial it to get multiple materials out of it. This card is absolutely amazing. Watch out for this card. You can Ash Blossom. This is really good. You want to stop them from being able to send to the graveyard. Ashing this is really good. Next thing we're going to go over, Salamangreat Spiny or Spinny. I don't know how to pronounce it or which way it's pronounced. But here's another level 3 fire monster. This one's really good. Again, if you control a Salamangreat card, you can discard this card, then target one face-up monster on the field. It gains 500 attack until the end of this turn. So it pretty much can pitch itself to get itself in graveyard because it does have a graveyard effect. If you control a Salamangreat monster other than Salamangreat Spiny, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Well, the thing is, Salamangreats have a rank 3 XYZ, so you're just going to be using this to put back in your graveyard, because since it's on as a material on the XYZ, it does go to the graveyard and not banish because it's not ever treated as leaving the field. So this card is actually really good. It is a hard once per turn, so you can only you can use each effect once per turn. It is a hard once per turn, but it's still a really good extender. Getting this to your graveyard, having it in your hand, even being able to put it to your graveyard is very strong. Next thing I want to go over is Salamangreat Circle. This is the new spell card we're getting for Salamangreats. It is a quick play spell card, which is like I think is insane. So this quick play spell card of Circle, it can do two things. Add one Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand. That's absolutely really good because the fact that it's a quick play, you can set it as a bluff. They are going to want to MST or Twin Twister or get rid of it some way, shape, or form. You just chain it and you add, and they're like, well, that sucks. And then the other effect is target one Salamangreat link monster you control that was link summoned using the monster with the same name as its material. That link summoned monster is unaffected by other monsters' effects this turn, so protection built in for our monsters. Very strong. This card is going to be really good. And it comes in the structure deck. All the cards that I'm revealing, showing right now are coming in the structure deck. Next one, Salamangreat Roar. This card is what makes this deck really good, in my opinion. So, the really cool thing is, this is pretty much Infernity Barrier. So when a spell or trap or monster effect is activated while you control a Salamangreat monster, negate the link monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If a Salamangreat link monster is link summoned to the field using monsters with the same name as a material, while this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So First off, this is something you're going to be adding back with Sunlight Wolf a lot of the time, because you want to be able to recycle it, not just let it get banished. Or you can be using, if you have to extend into something else and you're not going to be able to add back the roar because you won't be able to make a good board, you're going to be able to bring this back and let it get banished anyway. So it doesn't really matter. It's just absolutely insane. This card is really, really, really good, as you guys could tell. So definitely, I don't know if red reboots are really going to be a really good side for it, but it won't be too bad. I definitely think that roar is good. I just don't think they're playing too many traps rather than just the one, but they do search it, so that's just kind of the way it goes. The next one we're going to go over is Salamangreat Rage. This is another trap card. They usually only play like one copy of this. I'm not even sure if it's going to get played here in the TCG, but it has two effects once again. One is send one Salamangreat monster from your hand or face up on the field of the graveyard, then target one card on the field and destroy it. This effect is kind of meh, not really used. You never really use that effect. It's usually the second effect that you're going to be using, which is target one Salamangreat link monster you control that was link summoned to your using a monster with the same name as the material. Destroy cards your opponent controls up to that monster's link rating. So the really cool thing is about this card is it doesn't actually target the cards it's going to be destroying. So this is really, really good inherently. It only targets the link monster we want to destroy. So, or the link monster that we want to use. Often you can be getting 3 pops with this because you can end Helio very, very, very easily. So this is super, super good. Being able to get 2 to 3 pops all the time consistently is really, really good. So this card is definitely going to be played. I think it's going to be played more of like a one-of though than anything. Salamangreat Phalanx, I think is how you pronounce it. This is the new Link monster that really helps this deck, and I'm gonna say it here, Link 1 monsters are absolutely broken. I'm not even sure if they should be a thing. Link monsters are just so good. Link 1s, they generate so much advantage, especially when they add from your anywhere. It's one of the reasons why Sky Strikers is such a strong deck, is just that they can generate off such a small amount. Now, what this one does, it actually has 2 really good effects. The first one is when it's link summoned, you can add 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary from your deck to your hand, which is really, really, really good. Now, another one is its second effect is actually a graveyard effect, and it's if a Salamangreat card you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So it has a Return of the Dragon Lords type effect built into it, which is really, really, really handy, honestly. This card is absolutely amazing, amazing. Being able to bring back, to search for your engine and then protect your field is pretty good, I think. So definitely one of my favorite cards in this deck. And then one of the last cards we're going to talk about from the main deck of the Salamangreat cards is Salamangreat Mirage Dalio. Now, this card is absolutely busted in my opinion. So you can detach one you can detach one material from this card, special summon 1 Salamangreat monsters from your deck in defense position. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn except fire monsters. So I feel like this card probably should have been, the restriction should have been, you cannot special summon monsters except fire monsters, because being able to, the fact that it says activate, you can play around this in a lot of ways, and being able to make this card is just really good. In the OCG, they ran Terratops as a simple 1 card Mirage Dalio. Obviously we still have Terratop at 1, so that's also going to hurt the deck a little bit more, but I do think that it's still going to be really good. So he can special summon something from the deck, but you're restricted to only using fire monsters effects for the rest of the turn. That's fine. Then his second effect is actually really good too. If this XYZ summon card is sent to your graveyard as a link material for a link summon of a Salamangreat monster, you can target 1 card on the field, return it to the hand. You can only use each effect of Salamangreat Mirage Dalio once per turn. So, as you're going through making your plays, say your opponent has a Thunder Dragon Colossus, you want to make your link to Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. Well, what do? You make Mirage Dalio and you special from the deck, allowing you to get more extenders in your graveyard. Link off for the link 2, and then you put back your opponent's Colossus. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how this card is really, really good? It allows you to go into your plays, guys, and also allows for removal of your opponent's cards. I think it's just a really strong card. Now, like I was saying, they play Terror Top to try to get a 1 card of this. Now, I think that our direction of Salamangreat is going to go a little bit different here in the TCG. First off, initially I thought they were going to be a bit stronger than what they are going to be, because I felt like Altergeist and Sky Strikers were going to get hit harder instead of not getting hit at all. So this automatically hurts the deck just inherently, because it's just not as strong as them. It's not as fast. It's hard for it to keep up. Okay, so there's that. Now, we also don't have like Terror Top and stuff like that. Well, turns out we have Dangers. Danger Snake is absolutely amazing. Danger Jackalope is absolutely amazing in this deck. Now, that's the reason being is your traps, or like the stuff you want, like half of it wants to go in the graveyard anyway. You play cards like your other Salamangreat cards like Gazelle. Sorry, not Gazelle. Jack Jaguar and Falco. Those ones want to be in the graveyard to get their effects off. Same with Foxy, also has a graveyard effect to special summon itself. There's the traps can go in the graveyard, Spiny can go in the graveyard, so many things can go use itself from the graveyard. You're able to add back from your graveyard so easily in this deck. I definitely think the Danger Monsters are actually a good fit. In testing, it's helped me every time. If I am ever able to get out 2 Danger Monsters, it's usually just I'm gonna have a broken board. So I definitely think Dangers are really the way to take this deck here in the TCG. Now, one thing I want to point out too is Max C is a huge thing in the OCG, which we don't have here. Now, I actually think that helps this deck. This deck special summons so much. It special summons so many turns. If you got Max C, you're kind of like, it really sucked. So I think not having Max C is going to be really good for this deck over here. But I definitely don't think it's going to do anything too much until, you know, we're able to move forward from the current format we're in and get a new ban list, and then it will be one of the better decks. I definitely think this deck is a contender though. You can top with regionals. I think it's a good deck, a decent choice. If you want to play budget and you want to get into the game, or if you're just getting into the game, get this deck. It is budget. It's good for what it is. And you will definitely enjoy the game, I think, with it. So the main goal of this deck is to be able to end on Salamangreat Roar, having a free negate, and then being able to stun your opponent and then push for game next turn. A lot of times you were going to be able to summon Bamboozling, number 75 Bamboozling, or Gossip Shadow. And then we also summon a lot of the time Bagooska. Bagooska stuns your opponent, and then you just make him go to attack position and you extend for game next turn. It's absolutely broken. I definitely like that aspect of the deck. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on Salamangreat. It's my everything I went over. I will have a combo video closer to the date, probably in about a week or so, a combo video for the deck, showcasing, and probably a deck profile. Hopefully you guys like it. Please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. We will see you guys later. See ya.